What's going on, YouTube? This is Dope from Dope Comics, and today I thought I'd get on here and answer a couple questions. I'm always getting asked a bunch of stuff either on Instagram or through the message stuff on YouTube, and I thought I would answer one of the questions that gets asked a lot. People ask me what I think about modern books. I love modern books. I haven't showed many modern books on here because most people like the 70s and the 60s and the 50s and the 40s stuff, including me. I love to collect that stuff, but I love to read modern stuff because a lot of times the golden age stuff, especially the pre-horror stuff, is heavy in dialogue and a lot of it's campy. So I like to read modern stuff, but usually the modern stuff don't even make it in my collection. I usually throw it away or give it away. If it's something I'll never read again, it don't make the PC, so I just get rid of it. But every once in a while, there's things that make the PC. And there's 3 or 4 titles now that I'm putting in the PC, but most stuff don't make the PC. But I decided to, today I went to my local comic book store and got everything out of my box. And I thought I would show you some of the stuff that I love to read and love to get. The first thing might shock some of the people here, but Geiger. Love Geiger. Geiger made my own personal collection. It's not horror, but if you're a dad, this Geiger is pulls at the heartstrings. Love Geiger. Everything about Geiger is awesome. Jeff Johns. It's probably the best thing I read in 2020. So if you're not reading Geiger, what's wrong with you? Other things I love to read. I've been reading this since it came out. This is a Hotel, Volume 2. This is issue number 3. So really, there's like 8 of these now. All of them's always been good. I love them. John Lee's, he's the man. John Lee's also does other things like Sync. I mean, who don't love Sync? If you're not reading Sync, it's out by Comic Tribe. They're on a little bit of a hiatus break right now, but Sync is amazing. It's probably the best thing I ever read. But John Lee's also does this, and he does a couple other books I read that we'll get to here in a little bit. But Hotel. Good stuff. Probably my favorite thing I read today. Can't wait for this to come out every week. Silver Coin. It's a anthology, just like Hotel. Both of these are anthologies. You can pick up any issue and start reading it. Everyone's a different horror story. And the only thing they have in common is this cursed silver coin that seems to find its way in everybody's life. And everybody ends up dying and comes across this silver coin. So this is an image book. It's got a different writer every week. All of them's been good so far, except for like one. I think that was issue 5. No, 4. 4 sucked. But the rest of them are all great. Love Silver Coin. This is something that didn't make my PC, but I read it because I'm interested in it. And after I read them, I usually give them away. Animal Castle. If this was a story about humans and not animals, it'd be brutal. But they use animals and it's a little bit more lighthearted. I also read These Damn Kids. This thing's brutal. This one just came out this week, but I've got a variant cover of this that came out 2 months ago. It came out a Halloween special. And this thing is very brutal. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of chopped up bodies and stuff in here. So it's about some kids, and something's wrong with these kids in a small town in the South, and they start killing people. So These Damn Kids. Good stuff. Here's another John Lee's book. And if you look, it's got Alex Cormack in it. Anything that you see that Alex Cormack's in, his drawing is unbelievable. He also drew Sync. He also drew my favorite. He drew Sync. He drew this. He did Sea of Sorrows. Alex Cormack is my favorite artist. He does a lot of these bubbles. If you look at Sea of Sorrows, it's a story about horror story about being underwater, and it's a lot of bubbles and a lot of black covers and stuff. He does a lot of stuff like Sync is out in the rain a lot. But this is a wrestling book. I love wrestling and horror. So how can you go wrong with that? So this stuff's brutal. Good stuff. Show you a little bit of the artwork, I guess. Haven't read it yet, but as you can see, it's got some horror elements to it. It's also got wrestling in it, so check out Crimson Cage. It's been good so far. Also in my pull box, been on this since day one. Basket Full of Heads. First volume was awesome. So far, the second volume, different writer. Joe Hill wrote the first round, really good. This one here is not wrote by Joe Hill, and it's kind of whack so far, but I'm waiting on it to get better. Love Basket Full of Heads. I read a lot of this during the lockdown of COVID, and holds a special place with me. Also, I read Out. Usually anything by AWA Upshot is good. I mean, I haven't read hardly anything I didn't like by them. So if you see a AWA Upshot book, pick it up. I love Devil's Highway. I love Red Border. I love Hotel. I love this. They do a lot of stuff. Also, as you can see, Crimson Cage was AWA. So they do a lot of cool stuff. AWA's probably that and Image is the main two things I read. This is about World War II. Takes place around 1942 to 1944. Nazis, vampires. Nazis trying to use vampires to kill Americans. Crazy book. Crazy art. Good stuff. Brutal stuff. I like anything to do with horror, and this is some good horror. Started reading Radio Apocalypse, and this is about a wasteland. The world's ended. There's only one radio station left in the world, and I kind of look at my little world here, my little YouTube channel as a radio station. I'm in the basement. I'm at the Comic Hacienda. Only certain people can hear me. There's about 50 people out there. I think I got 78 subscribers right now, so not many people can hear me. I'm doing the Mayday thing. Only 78 people get to hear me, and that's kind of what's going on here. These people are looking for more people in the world. I've only read issue 1. This is issue 2. Kind of bummed. It took like 3 months to come out with issue 2. If it keeps on doing that crap, it's going to make me mad because this issue 1 was awesome. Haven't read this one yet. Radio Apocalypse. Good stuff. And there's 2 books left. I get this every month. This used to be called Creeps. It was a really, they really copied Creepy to a T. And they even used some of their artists and writers off Creepy. Creepy sued Creeps. Creeps had to change their name. Now it's called Shudder. But it's basically, if you like reading the old Creepy magazines, it's basically the same stuff. And in these, you can order the old Monster Bash magazines. You know, all the old creepy stuff. It's really cool. Got a thing in here about the Frazetta Museum. So, Shudder. It's always anthology stories. There's usually about 4 or 5 in one of these books. These usually don't make my collection. I give these away or throw them away. But I love reading them. Something to read. And my last book, Devil Tree. This is about a tree in Florida that is at a park that has had a hellacious history. There's been people to hang themselves in this tree. There's been murders underneath this tree. There's been bodies dug up, buried under this tree. It's a real tree. Thousands of people visit this park every year just to see this tree. Murders go all the way back to the 60s. Still weird shit's happening today. People carve pentagrams in this tree. True stories about a tree in Florida. It's a good read. Art's kind of whack. It's a real indie. I mean, it looks indie. You know, nothing too great. But these do not make the personal collection. I read these and toss them. So, I'm big on trimming the fat. And that is all the books I have for this week. I do love modern books. Every once in a while, I'll show you some modern books, but I don't think many people want to see modern books compared to cool old stuff. But if you like modern books, just leave it down in the comments. Tell me what you're reading. And if there's anything good horror-wise out there that I need to be reading, let me know about it. And if you like what you see, subscribe today, hit the like button, join the family, and until the next time, pew, pew.